Okay, so slowly.
Okay. So Pierre expects the long talk about 3 times together. Well,
How is everybody? What is with your hair?
it's very messy.
What? You're
Yeah,
sick?
it is very messy today.
I'm messy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this morning I just went to Katin. Next week as well. How is it in Singapore? You're in Singapore or where are you?
I'm in Singapore.
Okay.
There's Katina in Palilai tomorrow.
Oh, Palilai. Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow's the Katina.
So, okay, let's start with the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, anyone with questions would like to start? Okay, yeah, Fang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have some questions. I wanted to ask, okay, you talk about listening to a Dhamma talk with your heart. But my question is, how do I develop the ability to do so? Is it having sati or is it to be in samadhi?
Having sati. Yeah, it is. If you develop samadhi, yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I mean, you know, the breath goes in, yeah, you feel the breath goes in, feel the breath goes out, but then later on, you know that the breath goes in, and then you know that the breath goes out. Listening to the heart is not easy. It is a long training, yeah. So you don't want to understand. You don't want to listen to what comes into the ear, but you want to listen what comes into the heart, because it will arrive first in the heart before it arrives in the ears. It is a training. I mean, the problem with us, you know, listening to a talk, yeah, is that we try to understand what the person is saying. Sometimes we translate it in our own language, you know, and then, you know, we lose, you know, most of it. Yeah? It took me, yeah, my first teacher, you know, in Germany, you know, who taught me this, yeah, he said, just listen. I said, what? Just listen, you know, without thinking, without putting any labels on it. Huh? And, you know, how do you do that? You know, I just listen. Don't put any labels on it. Don't think about it, you know. Just listen. Yeah? A year later, you know, I mean, I trained and trained and trained. A year later, you know, I heard a dog barking, yeah, in the heart before actually, you know, it entered the ears. Yeah? So, it is a training, you can do it, yeah. I mean, with a language that you don't understand, for instance, Lungta Mahabor, the Thai language, yeah. I mean, it's much easier just to listen with the heart, yeah. And you will be surprised to understand. I mean, that's how the first, you know, when I came to Pantat, you know, I didn't know any Thai, yeah. I listened to Lungta Mahabor, but I understood, yeah, about what he was talking about, not every word, yeah. So train it, yeah. I mean, the moment thoughts are coming in, you know, then you're off, yeah.
So actually, when I listen to Dhamma talk and I have an inner voice talking, so the inner voice is actually Kalisa's?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, sometimes we hear something, you know, and then we want to make it clear, you know, that is your inner voice, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Then I wanted to ask
but also concentrate then on the chitta, yeah. Don't concentrate on anything else. Concentrate on what is happening in the chitta, because it appears in the chitta first, yeah, the sound.
Okay, I will try.
Yeah. It's a training.
Not easy, I think.
I mean, it's all a training, it's just like running a marathon. First time it is not easy, but after we do it every day, I mean, it becomes easy.
I'm still listening based on the words translation.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
And
the other thing I wanted to ask is actually during Katina, I realized that actually we give robes to the monks, but actually in the forest monastery, actually they don't need, they dye their own clothing. Actually, is it I mean, did I cause any inconvenience if I actually give them robes that subsequently they have to maybe give away and they don't use it?
That's not true. We can use ready-made robes. What is with the katina? With the katina ceremony, I mean, in the morning, you present the robe material, and that day, it had to be made into a sabong, dyed, and ready-made, stitched up, into a sabong. That is the katina robe. But you can offer, white robe, so that the monks can stitch it, according to their size, and to their comfort, and then dye itself. Or you can present, ready-made robes. There's no problem.
Okay, Ken, thank you. No more questions.
No more questions. How is your practice?
Still doing on and off. I managed to do a body investigation the other day already. Of course, the visualization is not fantastic. I will still continue to refine and see how it goes.
There's one thing. There's one thing very interesting. When we learn how to listen to the heart. I mean, we don't hear the words, we listen to the intention of the speaker saying something. So when you listen, for instance, to your parents, I mean, what they say and what you understand is completely different. Because the language of intention cannot lie. So they talk about something, something worldly, but actually they say, oh, I miss you so much, or I love you, or whatever, or I'm so lonely, or I'm frustrated, but they will not say it in words. But that the message comes over, So that is why it's very helpful, I mean, if you can learn it, I mean, it is very helpful. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah?
Hello. Hello. I'm looking at. I'm doing walking meditation. I'm starting to do walking meditation, but I'm trying to understand the instruction that you gave about when you say, when walking this path, I will stay with the breath. Do I continue to say that every time I reach the end of the path? Because I did that, and then sometimes I would find I would actually focus on my breath, but I felt like it was interrupting that. So I'm just wondering, do I continue to say it, or?
If you can stay, if you see that you can stay with the breath, for 4 or 5 paths, without interruption, and that is very hard, then of course you don't have to say it. I mean, if you focus on towards the end of the path, just this one path, I want to stay with the Buddha or with the breath, and then you come to the end of the path and you notice you have gone off, then it is very helpful, you turn around and say again, just this one path, It takes this time, it takes the time out, and the expectations, I mean, just one path, Just like in sitting meditation, we just say, this one Buddha. I just want to do one Buddha. And then once the Buddha is finished, I want to do another Buddha. Until the mind becomes stable. And then, of course, you don't need to do it. But you will see, if you try it, if you try that for an hour, every time you turn around, to refocus on the Buddha or on the breath, you will see you get very easily concentrated.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you. And the other thing is, I'll be coming to work through Khongtong on 14th of November as well.
14th of November.
So that's when I will really start practicing walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll practice walking meditation at the monastery.
Yeah. Yeah, every kuti has a walking path, except for the kuti view, So, how long you want to stay?
Good. 10 days, if that's okay.
Yeah. The longer you stay, the more fruitful it will become.
Thank you.
Okay.
Evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you speak up a little bit.
Oh, okay. Now it's better? Yeah, so now I hope it's better.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask some questions about, last time you mentioned something that, whenever you have some situations or you have some thoughts troubling you, memories troubling you, that you should show your heart that it's troubling you, and that, point it to the heart that, look what you are doing to yourself. So right now I'm doing this practice, and whenever, some thoughts come or some anything like that comes up, I, as a mindfulness, keep my mindfulness to this particular thought. Whenever it tries to distract, like when it tries to think of a good memory or song to distract itself from that unpleasant thought, then I bring it back again to to show that what you are doing. So I keep doing this. I'm just wondering if it's enough to generate wisdom or not.
Not yet. It shows the heart that that what you're doing is unwholesome. Yeah. So you have to do it. You have to do it for quite a while until the heart really understands it. But it is also good, the reason why am I doing the things that I'm doing. So to see that, and that will develop wisdom.
Yeah, so I do like that. Like I ask, considering myself as my own friend, and like asking my friend, "Are you really happy doing this?" And then it really feels calm for a while. Like it stops doing that. It stops that tension. It releases the tension for a while. Yeah. So, and other thing is, most of these days, like when I'm listening to a Dhamma talk from you or others, like Venerable Khansar Bhikkhu, I usually search for some kind of a refuge. Like I need some sort of refuge that I can rely on, and so it doesn't make me feel lonely, in the path. For example, my breath or the awareness, even if just conceptual, but I just like having some sort of a refuge which I can rely upon.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use the breath. Yeah, you cannot use the Buddha while listening. Yeah, you can use the breath as a as a point of reference. Yeah.
But even the breath feels like a phenomenon, conditioned phenomenon that it will one day it will end. And I can't really trust. What if I were to be dying on a deathbed? If it's really the breath is passing very, like it's not a pleasant sensation to be dying. And I know that breath is not going to be a good reliance source at that point. So how can you really rely on that during that time?
The breath is the object of our attention. It's the object of sati. Yeah? When the breath stops, you know that the breath has stopped. Yeah. For instance, if you go into Appana Samadhi, the breath really stops. Yeah. And you know that the breath has stopped. And then you enter one-pointedness. Yeah. And that is not different. Yeah. I mean, you stay on your sati, the knowingness, what is going on, yeah? I mean, I tell people so often, especially if they live in the forest, yeah? We know, we see and we know, yeah? We know what is going on. We know that the breath is going in, yeah? The breath doesn't tell us it goes in, yeah? The breath doesn't tell us it's deep. We know it is deep or it is shallow or it is rough, or, yeah, it's fast, it's slow, and whatever it is, we know it, yeah? So the knowingness, yeah, or the sati, yeah, is your refuge. So whatever disappears, let it disappear, yeah? And stay with what stays on. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
And another, it's not relevant to the practice, but it's a curious question. I mean, I wanted to ask that, what does an enlightened mind thinks about, like when he's doing nothing at all, or when an arahant is by himself, what are they thinking, or what's going on in their mind? I was just wondering. It's not really relevant to the practice.
No, it's disturbing. Yeah? Your own thoughts are already disturbing. Why do you want to know what other people are thinking?
No, I was wondering, what do you have at that stage? What do you get?
What?
Like at that stage of final awakening or enlightenment, what's happening in the brain? Like, brain is still functioning, right? So it must be thinking something.
I mean, it still thinks, it still has memory, it still works, it still has feelings, yeah? But we are not attached to it. I mean, we know that a feeling is coming, we know that a thought is coming, yeah, but most of the useless thought, even after you practice for years, I mean, the useless thoughts, that normal people have all the time, I mean, they are gone. They don't come back because we don't put any interest in it, yeah. So, I mean, for the arahant, the 5 khandhas are still working, yeah. I mean, because, we have programmed these 5 khandhas, for eons of lifetime. So, I mean, they are working, yeah. But the chitta, the chitta is free of this attachment to these khandhas. They know there is a thought, and if it's a useful thought, then they might, act on it. And if it is not useful, they don't act on it. Yeah? If they see a situation, I mean, you have to live, yeah, I mean, you have to live with an arahant to see, to see how it is working, yeah. It is amazing, yeah. I mean, when he's not, he can be completely gone, yeah. He's still, the body is still there, but, I mean, nothing works, yeah. I mean, because it is not necessary for him to work, yeah. But the moment, somebody approaches him, and comes with a question or so what, it's suddenly, it's just like the computer turns on, poops, yeah. And when the person is gone, pop, yeah, I mean, it goes in sleep mode, yeah, until the next situation appears, and then he goes into wake mode, yeah. He doesn't constantly, think or do or act, I mean, yeah. Whatever is necessary, whatever is useful, that's what he does, yeah. But the best thing is, of course, to stay with an arahant to see, yeah. I had the fortune, to staying 15 years with Lungta Mahabua, I mean, it's amazing, yeah. And you don't hear him, you don't see him, he suddenly is in the back, of, you're mindless, you do something mindlessly and suddenly he stands behind you, said, what are you doing? Oh, oops, yeah. You don't hear him, you don't see him, he suddenly is there. Yeah? But anyway, that is, it's the question, I mean, yes, it is interesting, but what is the purpose of you to know it, Go there and you will see it for yourself. Yeah, that's what the Lord Buddha said, yeah. Open your eyes and see for yourself.
Just trying to motivate myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't you have enough dukkha in your life? Is that not a motivation? And if
It's actually demotivation.
it's a
Dukkha is actually
demotivation. Why? Don't you want to overcome the dukkha? I mean, there are three
like
doors.
When you focus on the dukkha, it feels like it's going more and more. It's increasing.
You can focus on three. There are three doors to nibbana. Yeah? One is dukkha, one is anicca, and the other thing is anatta. Every arahant goes through one of these doors. Be it dukkha, seeing all the things, are actually dukkha. The other people see it, oh, that's not me, not mine, not myself, it doesn't really concern me. And the other one is anicca. I mean, whatever I do, disappears. Whatever I have achieved, it's gone. I mean, I talked in the last month, quite a few times about, I mean, when we die, all the things that we have accomplished are gone. The wealth that we have acquired is gone. The only thing that we take with us is our karma. It's the bad karma and the good karma. And then in the next life, we have to retrain everything again. And that can be a motivation. I mean, look at it. I don't know. I don't know what motivates you. For me, my motivation was, do you want to be born again? Go through childhood, go through all this misery. I mean, the first 18 years of my life was really tough. Was really, really tough. So, I mean, that was a motivation. Whenever I was feeling a little bit lazy in my practice, I said, do you want to be born again? No. I mean, the question, the answer to the question came instantly. So, what do? You go through it, You go and practice and practice and practice until you know you're not reborn again. Okay?
Okay. And one last thing I have. I'm listening to a lot of teachers right now, like you, Ajahn Sumedho, and Venerable Ansaruk Bhikkhu. And so when I'm listening to all these teachers, sometimes there are conflicts between them. I find their teachings conflicting to each other. Like you teach something which might be opposing to Ajahn Sumedho, or Ajahn Sumedho might be teaching something opposite to you. Or maybe it's just me which is thinking that. But I like... It just can't be that, you all three are wrong. It just can't be, I know that. But how do you reconcile with this fact that your teachings might be opposite, but the fruits are there, different there?
I mean, that really, it really, depends, It depends on the accomplishment of each teacher, I mean, some teachers, teach like that, or put the emphasis on this. Other teachers put the emphasis on that. The interesting thing, I met a lot of, while I was, in Wat Papantat, I met a lot, of lay people who visit all these different arahants, And each of the arahants is teaching something different, But, when you listen carefully to what they're teaching, it's always the same. They use different words, they use different similes, But the methods, are the same, And what I notice with these people, with these lay people, who listen and grab hold of the words, for them it is different. And in the end, they were completely confused. So what I normally suggest to the people who follow me, I mean, just listen, Find some teacher, where you have faith into, and then just listen to him, So that you don't get confused.
Yeah. Like they all, I can see that after reading them for a while, that their teachings confine, quite narrow down to some things.
Yeah, I mean, some people, I mean, I couldn't listen to Ajahn Sumedho, because I didn't find it very helpful. But maybe he has improved, I don't know. I mean, I was there, what was it, 91? Yeah, so I mean, it's a long time ago, So he might have improved, but his talks, were very different from what Lungta Mahabo was teaching.
Yeah, there's difference.
Yeah.
He teaches more about awareness and being the witness to the things.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was attracted to Ajahn Mahabo. Yeah. I mean, he's talking only sati, sati, samadhi, and panya. Yeah, developing wisdom. I mean, when I was in England, I practiced there for 4 years. I thought, I'm up at the top, I know everything. Yeah, I don't have to do anything anymore. But still, something was drawing me, to Lungta Mahabo, and then I came to his monastery. Yeah, and then I have realized I haven't even practiced. I don't know what I did, I practiced samadhi in the West, but no investigation, nothing. Yeah. So when I came and saw Lungta Mahabo, he's only talking about practicing investigation. He takes it for granted that people go into samadhi. He teaches a little bit about samadhi, but most of his teaching is investigation. And investigation, if you have the sati, and then develop the panya, the wisdom, these are the tools, to get rid of any kind of kilesas that are in your heart, yeah. And that is also the teaching of the Lord Buddha, even though, it is not reflected, when you read, the Majjhima Padipada, the Majjhima Nikaya. Yeah? When you read it, you find very little of it, yeah. But he was teaching it, yeah. So, anyway, yeah. Stick to one, whoever you feel comfortable with, until you realize, yeah. And that was the same thing for me. While I was in England, in this meditation center, or in the monastery, I listened to a lot of teachers, and so, some of the teachers I could take something away. Other teachers I knew, this is, they haven't even gone to a certain level, but still, you still can listen to it, yeah. Find a teacher, you have faith into it, and stick to him, yeah. Until you have a question that this teacher cannot answer. Then you go and change the teacher.
Yeah, please.
Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
The problem with Lungta Mahabo was, he could answer all the questions. So I didn't have to go. Yeah? I was never interested. There were quite a few arahants around here in Isan when I still was arriving. I wasn't interested in listen to this, listen to that. I wasn't even interested in going outside of the monastery. I had to go out of the monastery for Pindapat, of course, for alms round, but once a year for my visa. I wasn't interested. Yeah, I was only interested what is going on in my mind. Yeah, or what is going on in my chitta. Yeah, and remove the things. Yeah, one by one. Okay, next. Sani, are you still there?
Yes, no more. Yeah, no more. Who wants to ask his questions? You ask. Then I'll just read. There were 2 questions submitted online. Okay, so this is, I think, from Anne. I'm the girl from Netherlands. Unfortunately, I was unable to join the live session today.
Okay.
I have a follow-up question about investigating feelings. If a certain feeling arises, like annoyance or fear, anger, I try to ask myself what it feels like.
Yeah.
Then the first thing that happened was, I don't like this feeling. Then I ask,
What you did? She didn't like it. Yeah. And that is the end of investigation.
No, the question continues. So then I ask, is it not is not liking this feeling the same as the feeling itself? The answer that came was no. Then I asked again, what does this feeling feel like? And then there's no answer. So I asked what happened before this feeling. Then now I see a process of a lot of thoughts, memories, labels, etc. That follow each other up quickly in a small amount of time, which seems to lead to this kind of feeling, which seems to be always a form of aversion. But still, there's no answer to what it feels like. Then one night I had a bad dream and I woke up with a strong feeling of fear. As soon as I woke up, I asked what this feeling feels like, and the mind is completely set on the fast heartbeat and the heat within the chest area, and the feeling of fear seems to be gone immediately, and the heart slowly returns to normal. I just look at what happens in the body automatically. So then later, when the feelings arise, I ask what it feels like. I try to look at it. What does it feel like within the body? Like where is it located? And how does it feel? Now there's always seems to be a lot happening within the chest area with heat, tremulence, heartbeat, breath, wanting to move, but I can't see any further. I try to do the same when positive feelings arise, yet somehow it's harder to catch those moments and see the difference. Now I don't know if what I'm doing is right and how to proceed. Of course, I know my sati and samadhi are not strong enough and that I should develop more. That's the end of the question.
I mean, she does. How does it feel? You know, I mean, it's not the right question to ask. Yeah, I mean, feel it. Yeah, feel it. You know, I mean, let it permeate the whole body. The feeling, whatever feeling it is. Yeah. Most of the time, when we concentrate on the feeling itself, yeah, we don't have to ask how does it feel, because that just gives a label, and this label, you know, I mean, dilutes us. Eh? So we don't want, you know, we don't want an answer to the question. We want to feel it. Yeah, that's what I normally try to say. We feel the pain. How does it feel like? How does it feel like? And the answer should not be, you know, the answer should not be mentally, but, you know, it should be, you know, feeling the feeling, you know, encompassing the feeling, or, you know, permeating the feeling, so that we know, we understand, yeah. And later on, you know, I mean, she goes a little bit back, but, you know, she has not found that the stone that causes the avalanche, yeah. So she has to go even further back, yeah. And if we do our daily reflection every day, I mean, some of these aversions, you know, can already start when we get up from the bed, you know. I mean, there's a bad thought that we have, or a bad memory that comes up, yeah, and certain things, you know, add up, you know, until you know these things happen. So if we have this, if we, you know, do this recollection, you know. Daily reflection, I mean, we get, you know, we get the process of how these things appear. I mean, if you wake up and you're comfortable, or you're happy, you know, I mean, the same thing that happens to you, you know, I mean, doesn't matter, yeah. I mean, there is no arising of a bad feeling. And the next day, you know, the same situation happens, but you wake up, you know, with a bad thought or with a bad dream, you know, and then this aggravates you, yeah. So feel the feeling, yeah. Feel it in the whole body, you know. I mean, yes, what she was doing, you know, was quite okay, yeah. Feel it in the whole body. Don't put any label on it, yeah. I mean, I just have to ask the question, you know, but you don't... to make it clear to you, I mean, just feel the feeling, yeah? Know how it feels, yeah? So if you have sati, you know how to feel, yeah? Pain, you know, and then, you know, for instance, for investigation pain, when it comes to meditation, I mean, we go to the point of pain, you know, and we see, you know, we feel it, yeah? And then we see, anicca, is it constant? And then we look at it, no, it is not constant, yeah? The first thing, of course, you know, we should do, you know, there is a feeling, yeah? Because the moment we say, I feel like this, you know, I mean, the investigation is over. Or, yeah, I'm in pain, yeah, then the investigation is over. There is pain, let me see, where is the pain, yeah, feel it, yeah, know how it feels, and then, you know, and then ask, where is the pain exactly, yeah? Is it in the skin? And then we look, no, it's not in the skin. Is it in the tendons? We look, no, it's not in the tendon. Is it in the flesh? Is it in the bones, yeah? And the interesting thing, you know, is we don't find it. What she said about, you know, when she looks at fear, and she's completely, you know, she completely encompasses fear, then the fear actually disappears. Because the fear arises, you know, according to thoughts, you know, or memories that come up. And when we concentrate on the feeling, we see the anicca, we see the impermanence of feeling. It comes and it goes, yeah. And then we want to understand how did it arise, yeah? What brought it up, yeah? What kind of memory, what kind of memory, what kind of thought, you know, what came before that, until we see, okay. That's what I'm afraid of. And then we can tackle, you know, this thought or this memory. If it is a memory that brings up the fear, you know, then we can, you know, investigate that memory. If it is a thought, you know, we can tackle the thought. You know, so whatever. I mean, whatever happens, I cannot change the world. I cannot change what is happening. But yeah, we can tackle it, you know, with you know, I mean, with undermining the power of the thought. Or undermining the power of the memory. Okay? Thirsty. So, is there another question?
Yes, Longpo. So, this one was submitted just now.
Yeah?
Dear Ajahn, I heard that there's some prediction about World War III and big natural disasters that is coming soon.
Yeah?
Some people even buy house in Isan, as Isan is said to be a safe place. What is Ajah's opinion and advice on this?
Yeah, I don't want to go into it. You know, I normally, you know, if people are coming, you know, to me, you know, I talk about it, but not on the internet. Yes, there will be World War III. Yes, yeah. Yes, Thailand itself, you know, the north of Thailand, you know, Isan and Chiang Mai will be unaffected. But I don't know which part of the world are affected. Mostly Europe, Russia, China, and the US, yeah. But also, I don't know, the other things, yeah. Turkey, yeah. The Middle East.
Okay, thank you, Longpo. That's all.
Are there some questions from the audience here? Yeah?
About investigations, like from your teachings, as far as I've seen on videos, when to do it, first you investigate if something is strong enough to take you off the breath.
Yeah.
And you say there's daily investigation. And how long should that take, and how much? And then I guess you can separate the samatha and vipassana. So first gather your mind and then switch to investigation. So these are the like three things that I think.
Yeah, you have to be, first of all, you have to be clear. If you do samatha, then you just do samatha. You don't do investigation. The only exception is when the pain in the body becomes so strong, then we can do the investigation of the pain. Yeah. Otherwise, we don't investigate anything in samatha. We try to get the mind calm, and if the mind goes into upachara samadhi, I mean, the pain and all these distractions are gone anyway. So no. Once we come out, once we come out of samatha, and if we could stay long enough, I say maybe 10 or 15 minutes on the same object without any distraction, then we can go into the investigation. Yeah? But then we only do investigation and we don't go into samatha, because sometimes we investigate the body and it slips into samatha, and that is not the point. Yeah, we really strictly separate. Vipassana is investigation. Samatha is calm meditation. Yeah? So the same thing, okay, we tell ourselves, okay, I sit there, samatha, maybe for an hour, maybe for 2 hours or 3 hours, yeah, and I only do samatha, yeah, with the exception, of investigation of pain. And then after that, I tell myself, okay, half an hour I do investigation, and we investigate the body, yeah. I mean, if there are some problems, coming up through doing samatha, I mean, we take a note of it, yeah. And if we come out of samatha, we can tackle that problem, but not in samatha, because otherwise we will never reach upachara samadhi, yeah. Because the mind, the kilesas, always bring up problems, yeah. And we just forget it. Yeah? That's what I trained myself. Yeah, all these things, that came up in the beginning when I trained samatha. Yeah, and I said, okay, if it is important, you will remember it. Yeah, and after now, I couldn't remember anything. So I mean, it wasn't important. Yeah.
So again, like when I do samatha, when I come out of samatha, do not try to get back into, let's say, upachara samadhi.
You can do that, yeah.
So it's up to you whether to try to get back
Yeah.
to samatha or try to do investigation.
Yeah. I mean that is, I mean, if you feel really what is it, full, yeah, with samatha, I mean, then you can go into investigation. If not, I mean, I practice 9 hours of samatha, and just did 1 hour of investigation. Until later, when the investigation took part, when it really went going, then I went on 9 hours of investigation and only 1 hour or 2 hours of samatha. Yeah.
So you do it not during samatha. After samatha ends, you start investigation. After you feel that you're not in samadhi anymore.
If you see that your investigation, you drift off, yeah, then you should stop the investigation and do samatha again. Yeah, because you have to, just like we focus on the breath. Yeah, I mean, we take, we investigate the body, be it the whole body. We have to have this object, this one object, in the mind. Yeah. And then ask the question about this one object. Yeah, we cannot just shift to another object, because that is the way of the mind. Yeah, and that's why we need to train it with samatha to stick to one object. Yeah, and that's the same with investigation. We stick to one object. Yeah, and investigate it thoroughly. Yeah.
So you said you said not to mix, but it's okay if within one sitting you go into samatha, and then you investigate, and if you feel investigation is not going nowhere, then you go back and trying to concentrate.
That is too much. Just stick to some rules. Tell yourself, I want to do samatha. Yeah, and then you do just samatha. Yeah. You can, and then you tell yourself investigation. I mean, if your samatha is quite good, investigation for at least for half an hour should be possible. Yeah. When you see, just say, in the beginning half an hour, and you see if you can concentrate on it. And after, after investigation, okay, then you decide. But don't just fall over flip over from samatha into investigation, because we really have to know what we are doing. Yeah. So now it is samatha, now it is investigation. Yeah. When you see, you cannot hold back. Okay, now I stop the investigation. Yeah. Now I do samatha, but not only for 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. this flipping over or this sliding over into this is the way of the mind, and we want to train it that it just stays with one object, yeah, be it samatha or be it investigation, yeah. Okay, Laura, no questions? So, are there some new questions? Sani?
Anyone has any questions? I saw a hand raised just now, but I couldn't see who is it from. I might have missed it. If you want, you can just unmute and ask. No, probably no. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I mean, next time.
Thank you, Uncle. So let us all pay respects to Uncle by bowing 3 times together. Bow. Okay, see you next month, Uncle.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we close the Zoom session. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and just a message: anyone who wants to receive WhatsApp notice of the session, you can WhatsApp the number you see on the poster at the bottom right. Just text me. That's my number. You just text me, and then whenever there's a next Zoom session, I'll just send out the notification to you, so that you get the notice on WhatsApp. Yeah, just is the number on the poster at the bottom right of it. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Otherwise, you have to watch the YouTube channel. I normally 1 week ahead, I post, in a week.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Yeah.